The entity query language EQL is a high-level language that interacts with semantic databases. Its purpose is to simplify the creation and manipulation of semantic data. EQL generates Sparkle, and everything that is done in EQL can be done directly in Sparkle, but EQL provides a more concise and intuitive path to achieve the same results. It uses the concept of entity type, which maps to the OWL class construct. Each entity type has one or more attributes which map to the OWL data type property. In the next examples, we are going to create entity types, link types, and entities in EQL, and we'll compare the EQL statements to the equivalent Sparkle commands. If we want to create an entity type called vehicle with attributes of make, model, color, registration, and year, in EQL we can execute the following statement, and I have an example already created. I copy it and paste it into the EQL workbench. It contains the word create, the type of object being created, in this case entity type, the namespace in which the object is to be created, the name of the entity type, vehicle, and the list of attributes and their associated data types. We click Execute EQL. EQL returns feedback indicating that the entity type has been created. EQL generates Sparkle statements to check whether the class already exists in the RDF schema. If it does, EQL returns appropriate feedback and abandons the operation. It also checks whether the data type property types defined already exist. If any of them do, it creates a new domain for those existing data type properties. We will now create another entity type so that we can later exercise the creation of link types. Now we are going to create an entity type engine. I copy it, paste it into the workbench, go back into the text tab to check what's going on, click on execute, and the system provides the feedback that the entity type engine has been created. If we now examine this Sparkle tab, we can see that it has done the checks, and once satisfied, it has created the class. We're now going to explore the creation of link types. EQL has the concept of link types which map to the object property type defined in OWL. To create a link type, we have a similar statement. I have one already created. We're going to copy it and paste it into the workbench and execute it. Again, it contains the keyword create, the type of object being created, in this case link type, and we will discuss the directionality in a minute. The command also contains the namespace and the name of the link. EQL supports two types of links, directional and non-directional, which correspond with the symmetric and asymmetric properties in OWL. Now we're going to create an instance of the entity type vehicle. Again, I have an example already prepared. I copy it and paste it. This command contains the keyword create, the type of object being created, in this case entity, the namespace, the name of the entity type, and the values associated with each attribute. If we execute it, EQL performs data integrity checks to validate that the data being submitted matches the structure of the entity type and that the values correspond with the expected data types. Once all the validations are satisfied, EQL creates the appropriate Sparkle insert statements. As we can see, a very simple statement in EQL creates an awful lot of Sparkle. We will explore the capabilities of EQL in the other videos in this series.